Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Monsieur. I am called to come back and speak again today about the spiritual ascension process, this transmutation of energy. First, I'm going to offer some exercises, but I have some ideas to exercise. But first, I wanted to say that you cannot go backwards. Everything that we do will make us go forward. The whole universe is always going forward. There is no going backwards. But there are certain things that slow down. For some time, we feel like we're moving forwards and we feel like we're going backwards. It's because some of those things we make us go accelerate our progress towards the light, or we'll slow down our progress towards the light. But everything that we do, no matter if we go out of the past, life will reflect to us, mirror us, so that we learn something. So there is no going backwards. It's just there are certain things that accelerate and other things that slow down the process of evolution. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing my jogging and I see people drinking, smoking, so I feel I envy them almost, but I know that I can't even eat sandwiches because I'm not allowed bread, and so I feel like it's a bit frustrating time to go in between those times, but I know I'm going to feel so much better once my physical body will be completely clean, and so my soul has my highest good at heart, so I have to follow that, how long it takes. And sometimes I know that sometimes I envy my guides or the ascended master, because they're already where I want to be, but I know soon I'm going to be able to join them, and so it's going to be a great blessing. It's going to feel amazing, and so I'm continuing to do my process, continuing to go through my process. I'm going to pull 4 cards from the Akash to see what the highest wisdom for us today is. The nun or the monk. It means that not to dissipate our energy, to allow this energy. For me, I have to. There is all romance is kind of forbidden right now, but I know I will return to it. But for now, I have to keep my energy together. What we need to understand. So it's about not dissipating our energy, to be strong and to purify, maybe in certain sense, to go through this purification process. Because once we have done that, we'll be able to be more in control of ourselves, and we'll be able to return to certain things that we had to let go during this purification process. But by doing this purification process, we are cleansing so much. What we need to do is the wish. We have to fulfill the wish. We have to be in alignment with our wish, and to know that we've asked certain things, and everything that we ask for is coming. For me right now, whatever I do to sell my work or to promote it is like it's like creating delay in my path. For my path is about creating this alignment. Once I'll be in this alignment, the life is going to provide for me a situation where I will be so much more comfortable. Of course, if somebody comes in and offers me a decent amount of money for any painting, I'm going to take it because I need the money. But for now, right now, I have to be really patient. It's kind of frustrating sometimes because I've made this wish to fulfill a certain destiny, and until I am into the alignment with my soul and spirit, this destiny is like no matter what I do, will create delays rather than. So I have to exercise. I have to do a lot of meditation. I have to continue to paint, of course. And for anybody that's interested, I'm showing a lot of paperworks on Instagram, a lot of new paperworks and things. It's like those things I don't sell for all that much money, but those are it's okay for me to sell those. And so if you're interested, let me know of anything. Those paintings on paper. Soon I'm gonna be able to be in a position where I'm gonna be able to present myself into the world. So all of those will have to sell them for a lot more money after that. But I enjoy keeping painting. This is mine anyway, and it's interesting because I see that through those paperworks I do some very different things that with my mainstream artists, and some people really love certain work, and that I feel like sometimes we're like, was that good enough? But some people just think it's fabulous. It is like, wow. So I'm being more confident in showing some very, very different things. Sometimes I feel like they just I trust that, and I'm like moving like Picasso, like doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paintings every day, even if it's only on paper. What we need to do is living or traveling. It's about getting our passport ready, our luggage ready, to be free, to be ready to go. And for me, at least, I have to do that. I hope you enjoy traveling. If you enjoy traveling, be ready. The universe can provide opportunity for you to of follow your heart. It's not always the mind to say, well, I want to be there or I want to go there. It's to find that certain things that you feel inspired during the night or during the meditation. You feel like this is a place that is calling you, and so because when it is the case, when it's called from the soul, the circumstances are far more enjoyable than when we decide just with our mind we want to go there. So it's about being guided and led to follow that path. And the outcome is growth. It is the trees. It is the ability to become to anchor our energy and to grow, to expand our consciousness towards the sky. So I hope this resonated with you. I wanted to offer certain exercises. Some of those exercises are quite obvious. The first one is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is the tool. It is because we have all kinds of things that comes from the past life of this incarnation, but also past life experience that can come into our experience. And so it's about no guilt and no blame for ourselves or for others. It's very important to allow those memories to come back and to pop back in, but not to associate guilt or blame. It is a waste of time. It is a waste of energy. For evolution takes time, and sometimes we want to accelerate the process, but it will take time in any event. And another exercise that we want to do is it was invoked by the ninth dimensional Arcturian Council for those ethereal dimension, but they were recommending that in the fourth dimension we start creating those council of light. You imagine yourself during your meditation, during a round table with this big light and those beautiful chairs all around, and you invite your guides, you invite the Syrians, you invite the Pleiadians, you invite the Arcturians. Those will be they will take on a they won't be etheric beings. They will come on a physical form. They will be fourth and fifth dimensional being, but can be Pleiadians, it can be Andromedan, it can be any galactics that you feel comfortable with, or you can invite also certain archangels to sit at the table in semi-physical form, so that you can begin to get used to the idea of consulting spirit within this etheric level of reality through telepathy. Well, it's not really. It's not like really telepathy. It's more like opening a sphere that we can that eventually becomes clear. For me, I have the privilege of being able to work with a council of 7 divine counselors, one perfecter of wisdom and one universal senses. I've seen them. I'm not really totally there yet, but I know this is the highest council, those highest spiritual councils. I also have my council of guides, and so, but it is good to work with that, with the visualization process, working with these round tables, creating those. Another exercise that can be good to work in is to create this inner temple, to go into the meditation, and you visualize yourself in a big field, and you see this big, let's say this amethyst pyramid. It is huge, big amethyst pyramid. It's beautifully transparent, and you walk towards it, you go into it, and in there you see this beautiful gold seat and beautiful pillow, and you sit on it, and before you there is this fountain, this beautiful fountain full of nectar. It is this divine light. It is liquid light, and and so you invite a master like Saint Germain or Archangel Michael, or you invite Sananda, or you invite one of your guides to come, and you sit in this beautiful pillow, and you get very comfortable, and then you invite him to take on the cup and to bring from the fountain, to bring this cup to you, and you see yourself and you feel that you're drinking this nectar each and every day. You repeat this exercise. For the inner temples are malleable. For you, this is really one exercise, but there can be many things that we learn to do in the inner planes, in those inner temples, such as the crystal pyramids. So it is good to begin to visualize and to drink this nectar every day. Also I think it was Metatron that recommended that we use we take an etheric shower for our etheric body with etheric light every day, because we wash our physical body, but we also have to wash our etheric body, and so it will purify it. So it's like, imagine yourself being your etheric body within yourself to receive this etheric light that cleans it up, and then everything flows down to the core of the earth.
And finally, a last exercise that I thought would be a good, maybe of use, is that for me, for instance, I'm quitting smoking, and so but although I've quit smoking, the desire, through emotion, it comes back. The desire comes back. It's like, and every time it comes back, I have created a temporary setup. I created this little, it's a little counter with numbers. So every time there is one emotion that comes in that makes me feel like I want to smoke, the counter turns into 1. Right now it's at 3 already. Every morning I set it up at 0. And and so it goes to 1, and then you take a deep breath and you pass the test. You no longer need to do that. You can do that for any sort of addiction, but those things that keeps coming back, you create this counter, and you count, like, all throughout the day, the number of time you had to resist this craving, and at the end of the day you have a certain number, and it usually turns, eventually those will not be necessary. Well, I hope those will be of use to you. Those little exercise ideas, they're just ideas, so they share. The paintings behind me is, this one is called Spring, no, it's called Summer. It was part of a series of another painting that was called Spring that I sold. It's in a private collection in the south of France. And it says Namo Amitabha. This means Namo is Sanskrit, Namo, reverential salutation. Amitabha is the Sanskrit name of the Buddha of infinite light. So when you call on that, you invoke, you remember the infinite light within yourself, Namo Amitabha, and it's painted on plastic, so they're very, very fragile. Small painting, 1994, and this one is from 2002. It's about the 7 families of spirit being, the company of heaven. It's one of those paintings. There's all kind of settled. Those will be very important later on. I have many versions, but the more I have, the better it is. And I continue to paint. I went into like this new eSoul series. If you go to Instagram, you'll be able to look it up. I'm gonna finish with a song. As I continue to sing, sometimes I can begin to start to remember some of the words of certain songs, which is nicer, it's easier. So hopefully I'm going to remember that one. It goes like this. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, take my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with songs and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Yes, thank you very much. It's a song with Frank Sinatra. For the card of the day is the Emperor, the beautiful Archangel Uriel, for the final card for the day. It says stability and efficiency. Take the situation within hand. Ambitious project. So my projects are very ambitious. I'm looking forward to realizing them. I will announce as things unfold. Hopefully, I'm not going to waste too much time. For I've been distracted. For we all get distracted by all kinds of things, and so it's about learning to keep our focus clear and things will unfold. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste.